The best Robert Downey Jr. movies. 1. Oppenheimer 2023. Oppenheimer is an epic biographical war thriller film released in 2023. It is written, directed, and produced by Christopher Nolan and features Cillian Murphy in the role of J. Robert Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer was an American theoretical physicist known as the father of the atomic bomb for his involvement in the Manhattan Project, which developed the first nuclear weapons during World War II. The film is based on the 2005 biography American Prometheus by Kai Bird and Martin J. Sherwin. The story of Oppenheimer primarily focuses on his career, including his studies, his leadership of the Los Alamos Laboratory during World War II, and his subsequent downfall following a 1954 security hearing. Emily Blunt portrays Oppenheimer's wife, Kitty, while Matt Damon plays Leslie Groves, the head of the Manhattan Project. Robert Downey Jr. takes on the role of Lewis Strauss, a member of the United States Atomic Energy Commission. The film also features an ensemble supporting cast that includes Florence Pugh, Josh Hartnett, Rami Malek, and Kenneth Branagh. In 1945, the first successful test of an atomic bomb marks a major achievement for J. Robert Oppenheimer, who was the director of the Manhattan Project at Los Alamos. However, decisions regarding the use of the bomb are taken out of the hands of Oppenheimer and the other scientists on the project, as President Harry S. Truman orders the atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Oppenheimer had wanted Truman to inform Stalin before using the bomb in Japan, but Truman disregards this suggestion. The Soviet Union feels threatened, and Oppenheimer believes that this event initiated the nuclear arms race. Despite receiving public praise, Oppenheimer is haunted by the immense destruction and loss of life caused by the bomb. He later meets with Truman and expresses his personal guilt, but Truman berates Oppenheimer, considering himself responsible for the decision to use the bomb. Oppenheimer advocates for limiting further nuclear weapons development, but Truman dismisses his plea. Rear Admiral Lewis Strauss, a retired naval officer and high-ranking member of the U.S. Atomic Energy Commission, AEC, had recruited Oppenheimer as a scientific advisor to the AEC after the war ended. As an advisor to the AEC, Oppenheimer's stance becomes controversial, especially as Edward Teller's hydrogen bomb gains renewed interest during the Cold War. Oppenheimer argues that the hydrogen bomb presents insurmountable technical challenges and should not be pursued. Instead, he tries to convince the AEC to control the proliferation of nuclear weapons worldwide. Chairman Lewis Strauss of the AEC, portrayed by Robert Downey Jr., harbors resentment towards Oppenheimer for publicly dismissing his concerns about exporting radioisotopes, which aided other nations in building atomic bombs. Oppenheimer also recommended negotiations with the Soviet Union after they successfully detonated their own bomb. Oppenheimer suggests that the US and Soviets should offer concessions to avoid pursuing a hydrogen bomb, as the Soviets would feel compelled to build one if the US did. Despite Oppenheimer's objections, Truman approves the H-bomb program. Strauss believes that Oppenheimer collaborated with the Russians during the Manhattan Project, enabling them to develop a bomb shortly after the war. Strauss also believes that Oppenheimer spoke ill of him during a conversation Oppenheimer had with Einstein in 1947. In 1954, with the intention of diminishing Oppenheimer's political influence, Strauss secretly arranges a private security hearing before a personnel security board regarding Oppenheimer's Q clearance. However, it becomes evident that the hearing is predetermined. Strauss claims to be the chairman of the AEC, but the charges against Oppenheimer were brought by William L. Borden, a lawyer and executive director of the Joint Committee on Atomic Energy, JCAE, who wrote to the FBI. Strauss asserts that Borden, a fervent anti-communist, had access to Oppenheimer's security file, which he used to make accusations. It strongly suggests that Strauss provided Oppenheimer's security file to Borden and used him to bring Oppenheimer down. Oppenheimer's past associations with communism are exploited, and testimony from Groves and other colleagues is twisted against him. Oppenheimer's decision to bring his communist-affiliated brother onto the Manhattan Project is used against him. Teller testifies that he lacks confidence in Oppenheimer and recommends the revocation of his clearance, while Groves supports Oppenheimer. The entire review is conducted behind closed doors as an administrative process, without a public hearing and with no burden of proof on the prosecution. Roger Robb serves as the special counsel to the AEC at Oppenheimer's security hearing, appointed by Strauss. Robb has full access to Oppenheimer's file, while Oppenheimer's attorney is denied access to his own client's file. The board revokes Oppenheimer's Q clearance, tarnishing his public image and limiting his influence on nuclear policy. In 1959, during Strauss' Senate confirmation hearing for Secretary of Commerce, Hill testifies about Strauss' personal motivations in orchestrating Oppenheimer's downfall, leading to the Senate voting against Strauss's nomination. In 1963, President Lyndon B. Johnson presents Oppenheimer with the Enrico Fermi Award as a gesture of political rehabilitation. A flashback reveals that Oppenheimer and Einstein's 1947 conversation did not mention Strauss. Instead, Oppenheimer expressed his belief that they had set off a chain reaction, a nuclear arms race, that would eventually destroy the world. 2. Chaplan, 1992. In the film, Chaplan, released in 1992, Robert Downey Jr. portrays the legendary actor and filmmaker Charlie Chaplan. The movie follows Chaplan's life story, from his impoverished childhood in London to his worldwide fame as one of the most iconic figures in the history of cinema. The plot begins with Chaplan's childhood, where he grows up in poverty and faces various challenges. Despite these hardships, he discovers his talent for performing and comedy at a young age. He eventually joins a traveling theater troupe, which leads to his breakthrough in the entertainment industry. Chaplan's career takes off when he is discovered by Max Sennett, played by Dan Aykroyd, a prominent figure in the emerging world of silent film. Chaplan's physical comedy and his creation of the beloved character, the Tramp, catapult him to international stardom. He becomes a major celebrity, adored by audiences all over the world. However, the film delves into not only Chaplan's success but also his personal life and the challenges he faces. It explores his romantic relationships, including his marriages to actresses Mildred Harris, played by Milla Jovovich, and Una O'Neill, played by Moira Kelly. It also touches on his controversial political views and his involvement with numerous women. As the film progresses, it addresses Chaplan's artistic struggles, his clashes with studio executives, and the changing landscape of the film industry with the advent of sound films. It also delves into his personal troubles, including his love affairs, paternity scandals, and his battles with the United States government. Throughout the film, Robert Downey Jr. delivers a captivating performance as Charlie Chaplan, capturing both his comedic brilliance and his complex personal life. Downey Jr. embodies Chaplan's mannerisms, physicality, and distinctive tramp character with great skill, earning critical acclaim for his portrayal. His performance showcases the depth and range of his acting abilities and solidifies his talent as a versatile actor. 3. Tropic Thunder, 2008. In the 2008 action-comedy film, Tropic Thunder, Robert Downey Jr. portrays the character of Kirk Lazarus, an Australian method actor known for his extreme dedication to his craft. Tropic Thunder follows a group of prima donna actors who are filming a war movie in the middle of a real jungle. As they find themselves in a dangerous situation, they mistakenly believe that they are still part of the movie production. Unaware of the actual danger they are facing, they continue to behave as if they are on a film set. Robert Downey Jr.'s character, Kirk Lazarus, is a highly regarded actor known for his ability to transform himself completely for a role. In the film, Lazarus undergoes a controversial procedure called pigmentation alteration to darken his skin in order to portray an African American character in the war film. This decision sparks conversations and controversy about racial representation and appropriation in Hollywood. Throughout the movie, Downey Jr.'s portrayal of Kirk Lazarus is notable for his commitment to the role and his ability to seamlessly blend into the character he is playing. He fully embraces the method acting approach, staying in character even when the cameras are not rolling. Downey Jr.'s performance brings a comedic element to the film as he navigates the challenges of playing a white actor portraying a black character. Tropic Thunder received critical acclaim for its satirical take on Hollywood and the film industry. Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal of Kirk Lazarus was widely praised for its comedic timing and commitment to the role. His performance added depth and humor to the film, contributing to its overall success. 4. Zodiac, 2007. In the 2007 thriller film, Zodiac, Robert Downey Jr. portrays the character of Paul Avery, a journalist who becomes obsessed with the Zodiac killer case. The movie is based on the true story of the unsolved Zodiac killings that occurred in the late 1960s and early 1970s in Northern California. Zodiac follows the investigations into the Zodiac killer, a serial killer who taunted the police and the public with cryptic letters and ciphers. Downey Jr.'s character, Paul Avery, is a crime reporter for the San Francisco Chronicle. He becomes deeply involved in covering the case and becomes consumed by the hunt for the killer. As the film progresses, Avery's obsession with the Zodiac case takes a toll on his personal life and mental well-being. He becomes increasingly paranoid and struggles with substance abuse. Avery's character is based on the real-life journalist of the same name who covered the Zodiac case. Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal of Paul Avery in Zodiac showcases his ability to bring complex and flawed characters to life. He captures Avery's unraveling mental state and the toll that his involvement in the case takes on him. Downey Jr. delivers a layered performance, capturing both the determination and the personal demons that plague Avery throughout the film. Zodiac was directed by David Fincher and received critical acclaim for its meticulous attention to detail and atmospheric storytelling. Downey Jr.'s performance in the film was praised for its depth and authenticity, contributing to the overall success of the movie. 5. Sherlock Holmes, 2009. In the 2009 action mystery film, Sherlock Holmes, Robert Downey Jr. portrays the iconic character of Sherlock Holmes, the brilliant detective created by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. The movie is directed by Guy Ritchie and presents a fresh take on the classic detective story. In this adaptation, Sherlock Holmes is depicted as a highly intelligent and eccentric detective with exceptional deductive reasoning skills. He is known for his keen observation and analytical abilities, which he uses to solve complex crimes. Downey Jr.'s portrayal of Holmes brings a charismatic and dynamic energy to the character. The film follows Holmes and his loyal friend and partner, Dr. John Watson, played by Jude Law, as they investigate a series of interconnected murders related to a mysterious conspiracy. Holmes must unravel the clues, outsmart his adversaries, and ultimately prevent a catastrophic event that could threaten the stability of England. Downey Jr.'s performance in Sherlock Holmes showcases his wit, physicality, and quick thinking as he embodies the iconic detective. He brings a unique blend of intensity, humor, and eccentricity to the character, capturing Holmes' idiosyncrasies and genius. The film was a commercial success and received positive reviews, with praise for Downey Jr.'s portrayal of Sherlock Holmes. His performance helped revitalize and modernize the beloved detective for a new generation of audiences, contributing to the film's popularity and subsequent sequel, Sherlock Holmes: A Game of Shadows, 2011. 6. The Iron Man Trilogy. In the Iron Man trilogy, Robert Downey Jr. plays the central role of Tony Stark, also known as Iron Man. The trilogy consists of 3 films: Iron Man, 2008, Iron Man 2, 2010, and Iron Man 3 Inches, 2013. In the first film, Iron Man, Tony Stark is introduced as a wealthy industrialist and genius inventor. After being captured by terrorists during a weapons demonstration in Afghanistan, he builds a high-tech suit of armor to escape and realizes the destructive potential of his company's weapons. Determined to right his wrongs, Stark refines his suit and becomes the superhero known as Iron Man, using his technology to fight against evil and protect the innocent. Iron Man 2 continues Stark's story as he faces personal and professional challenges. He must contend with the government's demand for him to hand over his technology, deal with his own deteriorating health, and confront a formidable new enemy, Ivan Vanko, played by Mickey Rourke, who has his own agenda against Stark and Iron Man. In Iron Man 3, Tony Stark grapples with anxiety and post-traumatic stress disorder following the events of The Avengers, 2012. He faces off against the terrorist leader known as the Mandarin, played by Ben Kingsley, while also dealing with a new technological threat called Extremis. The film explores Stark's vulnerabilities and showcases his resilience as he confronts his fears and protects those he cares about. Throughout the Iron Man trilogy, Robert Downey Jr. brings Tony Stark to life with his charismatic and witty portrayal. He embodies the character's arrogance, intelligence, and growth as Stark evolves from a self-centered playboy to a hero willing to sacrifice himself for the greater good. Downey Jr.'s performance has been widely praised and is often credited with revitalizing the Marvel Cinematic Universe and setting the tone for the subsequent interconnected superhero films.